Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning or good evening, as the case may be, if you've just finished watching Worlds. Welcome back once again to Chaos TV's live coverage of the Bulgarian OnFest LAN. We are into the semi-finals and grand finale day here. I'm joined by Spuddington, and we're straight into the picks and bans. How are you doing, Spud, on this morning?
Pretty solid. Did kind of have a fringe benefit of getting up earlier in that I'm not watching the VODs of Worlds as they come up. I was instead able to watch it live, but this is a game that's going on right now, which is a lot more interesting. We have got Dark Passage picking away the Aatrox, and I did just want to comment about the meta that we've seen in this tournament. And it seems like the three champions I've seen probably the most of anything are Aatrox, Shen, and Ashe, and I'm interested to see if Ashe gets picked again.
Yeah, that's very true, because a lot of the games, like obviously I was casting one group yesterday, and yourself and Pulse were casting the other one, so I haven't seen any of Gur, and honestly I don't know a great deal about them, but I did cast Dark Passage, and I casted their games yesterday, and it's very true what you're saying. We saw a lot of Ashe, a lot of characters like Malphite and Orianna, which are just high engage, high up in your grill, high up in your face, and then crush and dumpster everybody. And Dark Passage also like to play quite a bit of split pushing, so they had the Shens as you mentioned. They also normally carry an assassination champion in mid, they ran a Fizz, a Kassadin, and also an Ahri yesterday. So Dark Passage, for me personally, Spud, would be my favourite to win this entire tournament. I think they're the best team overall, and it's going to be very difficult to stop them, especially after yesterday's performances.
Yeah, we've seen Dark Passage in some of the other tournaments out there. For instance, I remember we saw them in the Riot International Invitational that was hosted by Riot Turkey quite a while ago now, but Dark Passage were a solid team then, and they were kind of fighting in, shall we say, like a bigger pool. So they were a smaller fish in a larger pool now. They're a very, very big fish. We'll see if anyone can match up to them. They've certainly picked out a very aggressive team comp, though, there. Looking with that Kassadin and Aatrox jump in, along with the Malphite, plus that mobile AD carry, and Zyra for follow-up. That is a really, really scary-looking comp.
It definitely is, and this is a very similar composition to what we saw yesterday. The only thing that was kind of different is that Holy Phoenix was running AD carries like Corki and Ashe. But Ezreal's still very good with this new Triforce kind of meta for AD carries with the Phage buffs that's been given. It's a very, very good item. So you are going to start to see in the top tier of play and also in solo queue a lot more Ezreals, a lot more Corkis, and the like. And also, now that Genja's played the Triforce Kog'Maw, you're probably going to see a hatful of them as well. But regardless, this is pretty much standard composition that we saw yesterday, Spud, and they just do it to perfection. As you were saying before, the Riot Invitationals, I believe that also had teams like Gaming Gear, who have been travelled to the World Finals. So that goes to show that this team knows how to stand up and bang with the best of them.
Yes, although Gaming Gear did crash and burn horribly in Worlds. But
yeah,
that is a side fact. We have had a quit out of the lobby. Presumably someone did just use a placeholder pick, or there was an error in the lobby. Hard to know for certain, and hopefully we'll find out shortly. Nobody's actually said. The last pick there was singed, though. I can't actually remember what the other picks were, so that's a bit of an issue.
Well, I'm curious if it's a placeholder pick, because you're on tournament client, so all the champions are unlocked for you.
That's a bug.
I can only assume it was a bug. Maybe there's some problems, because obviously we are casting. This is a Bulgarian LAN. It's called the OnFest LAN, but we are doing the English stream online. Whereas they're obviously at the LAN, at the event, on-site casting. So if there is a bit of an issue with the stream, it could also be another reason why they have quit out here. Regardless, though, I'm having a look at the lobby chat, and nothing's really being said, Spud, as to why this has happened. But the 10th player has just reconnected and rejoined. So they're saying, good luck, have fun. I think we'll be in quite soon.
Oh, maybe not. He said a second and has left again. And now we've got two people out of the lobby. Don't know precisely what is going on. They're kind of joining and re-leaving and joining and leaving. But we have now gone back into Champion Select, banning out some random champions, and presumably they're just going to re-pick what they had before, because we did have the full lineups locked in, Singed being that last pick. And Singed versus Malphite top, that kind of seems to me like Singed is not going to have a difficult time getting farm up. And once he's done that, he's going to be able to get a lot of map pressure down.
Oh yeah, once Singed starts to get a couple of items behind him, he is going to be able to split push pretty much for free, and it's very difficult to lock him down. So I wouldn't be too surprised here, Spuddington, if they actually went for the lane switch up. If they put Singed in a 1 versus 2, because then he doesn't farm particularly great underneath the tower. He's going to get harassed from the likes of Holy Phoenix's Ezreal and also the Zyra on top of that. So I would guess here, prematurely, that it is going to be a lane switch up against Singed.
The only issue with doing that from the perspective of Dark Passage is that they're up against Caitlyn Sona, whereas they're the ones running the Ezreal in this situation. So if they swap up and they put that Ezreal against the Singed, yes, Singed is going to have a harder time farming up, but so long as he can stay in XP range, he's still going to be relevant once he's got that Insanity Potion. And Caitlyn will push harder than Ezreal. That is just cast iron fact. And that can get really, really bad for you if you end up losing that pushing race, losing that tower, and then she can rotate up or continue to push. It just puts you on the back foot in terms of momentum.
That's a very good point, but you know, it's getting to that stage as well where just from this previous day we did cast an awful lot overall, covering 2 group games. I believe it was over kind of a 10-hour period or so, but it seems to me, Spud, that the kind of meta in this Bulgarian LAN, and indeed like the Eastern European countries, seems to be very much a split kind of pushing centric idea. With the Singed in the case of this game, they banned out Shen, as we mentioned before. A lot of Shen is being played thus far in this tournament, so Singed does kind of fill in the same blanks. Obviously, he doesn't have the Stand United, which is why he's gone for a teleport instead. So you can just get Singed proxying, pushing past the towers, clearing all the waves of creeps, and just being a real pain in the backside in team fights as well.
That kind of thing does become significantly more risky when you're against Kassadin, though, who also is running teleport in this case. Because straight up in a lane, once he's hit 6, Kassadin will never die to Singed. So they can actually use Kassadin to 1v1 Singed and not worry. And for some reason I had the teamfight UI up as well as the normal UI, but it's gone away now. So with that Kassadin, they can actually kind of, so long as Kassadin doesn't get shut down really, really horribly, can actually kind of ameliorate the damage from Singed.
Yeah, that is true, but we're going to have to see how this one plays out, if they are going to go for the lane switch-ups, or if they are going to respect the capabilities of a Caitlyn Sona harassment-centric lane, just constantly spamming away with the auto-attacks and the Qs coming out from Sona and the Piltover Peacemakers as well. It seems that both teams are just kind of like separating themselves out right now. Kind of caught in 2 minds of what to do. Red team here of Guru, more like the trench warfare that we see a lot in the EOS Challenger Series, not allowing any gaps. However, they are being pushed back from Dark Passage, who look to make a move on towards the blue buff.
Yeah, they've got that ward over the wall, giving them that nice little bit of vision. Now they're just going to back out for now, but the thing is from Guru here, they have not got the vision. They do not know whether Dark Passage have backed out or whether they're rotating around, whether they're going to go for a late invade. What is going on? They have now passed that ward, and they can place a guess that Holy Thoth and Riosta would not be doing that for no reason. And I always point this out, but that Sona animation glitch is kind of amazing.
It is. It's something that I always think is just on my end, and then obviously you have to remember that it is a global issue where she just kind of has a fit while running across. But judging from the way that Dark Passage are setting up here, Spud, it would appear that they are going for the lane switch up. So it's going to be Malphite at bot lane and Singed at top lane. This is going to be what I was expecting. You don't want to let Singed get farmed. You don't want to let him become that proxying, really irritating Singed from the get-go. That being said, Sona's helping out on red, so it's going to be interesting to see where Dako goes. Judging by his movement, looks like he's going actually to the mid lane. So they're trying to shut down the Kassadin as well.
Oh, I thought Holy Thoth was going to try something there, but did appear around that red buff area and did kind of almost force Crow Assassin, did force that Crow Assassin to blow that smite, and will be throwing out the roots and running away now.
Yeah, trying his best to escape. Flagging drag comes around. LT as well on Caitlyn, actually flashing through the wall to try and secure this kill onto Holy Thorfinn. There's the Piltover Peacemaker. Can they finish this kill? Yes, they can. First blood comes in, but that's a beautiful dark passage, knocking all three players up. They get the first blood from the support, but at the cost of 2, maybe even 3 of their own team. That is going to be the triple coming in from dark passage with Ezreal, Zyra, and also Aatrox all picking up a kill. So yes, you got the first blood, but my oh my, was it not worth it?
Worth, so worth. No, that was really just an overcommitment at the point where he forced the flash out of Zyra. It really did become an overcommitment. They were throwing so much into that, and it was such a comparatively small reward to get. First blood is nice, yes, but it just isn't going to be that major thing. Aatrox is their bot though.
Yeah, it looks like that is going to be a kill with the cost of the Bloodwell and Ignite. I believe Ari actually used the Ignite and the Flash as well. So both summoners were down. And here comes a Grasping Roots meanwhile from mid lane. Caitlyn's being spammed over from Holy Phoenix. He goes very aggressive here. He's going to be baiting up that barrier, however, realizing that Caitlyn was weak from before, but goes down. Just hyper-aggressive play for no reason. Grasping Roots comes around from the side, however. That Aria Perseverance will keep the Caitlyn alive just for a couple more auto attacks. Teleport, and meanwhile, is coming around from the left-hand side. That's going to be Jesper on Singe, has burnt off the Ghost as well. Can they get through here, or will a great escape happen? Yes, it will. Beautiful Grasping Roots and manages to survive. So a plethora of summoner spells used in the process. Ghost, teleport, and flashes.
And you can actually see Naru also has used his teleport. I don't know when he used that, presumably to get into the lane in the first place, but it was a really... You can understand why Holy Phoenix went for that engage. He thought, right, I've got barrier, she hasn't, I can bait her in with this. But the fact is, at low levels, the fights between AD carries can take such a long time that the barrier isn't, like, they're so non-bursty and they've got such comparatively low DPS. The barrier actually timed out before all of its health was used, which was really important because then she had that Piltover spike with the little remaining health that Holy Phoenix had. That got nasty quick.
It just amazes me how aggressive Holy Phoenix is though. Like, he was trying to bait out the barrier, but must have realized he's putting himself in no man's land. Grasping Roots lands, they're going to be looking for this last hit, and it will indeed go down from the plant at the cost, however, and the shutdown from Caitlyn, as Zyra was on a 3-1 scoreline. So actually, overall, with that shutdown goal, the additional 432 coming in, it's not the end of the world for this duo lane in mid from LT.
Could be though, if he's got that arcane shift.
Oh
or not.
My god.
Yeah, so that's the danger when you're that low against an Ezreal, because he's quite a bursty AD carry. I was kind of expecting him to try and just jump over the minions, but instead he just kind of just walked up to Caitlyn and started auto-attacking her, and she didn't seem to know how to respond, which was a little bit unfortunate for her, but Holy Phoenix getting quite fed quite fast here.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that once that shutdown gold came about, that Caitlyn didn't play a lot more passive. Because, as you say, Ezreal has the Arcane Shift, he's got Mystic Shots, has a lot of range on that, especially in close quarters. So you just don't want to be messing around with him. Speaking of Ezreal, Holy Phoenix and Riosta have started off this dragon. Pink Ward is down. They know there's no vision as of yet. Who's going to win this Smite War? It's actually going to be Jarvan flagging and dragging in. Even if he dies from a result of this, definitely worth it. But actually, they've got a 1-for-1 trade coming about with Fabulous coming around from the side. Does not have level 6 yet, so Unstoppable Force is not available. 90 caliber net into Grasping Roots, but it is going to be another kill courtesy of Sona. Make that the retaliation as well. Ari will be falling to the hands of Aatrox. Need to be careful. Fab is very tanky, and he's going to do quite a bit of damage at level 5. Chasing after Sona. Aatrox around the side does not have his Bloodwell off cooldown as of yet, so if he dies, he is going to be 6 foot under, and Fab just simply doesn't have enough damage to chase down the characters. At the end of that, though, all hell break loose, and a Drake on top of that. Beautiful steal from Crow Assassin.
There's actually a flash! Oh, didn't manage to get the flash pilt over there from Caitlyn. It was close to being enough of a spike, though. And yeah, good smite there by Jarvan, outsmiting someone who is a level higher than him, catching him out by surprise, and then just a really very messy fight with everyone just chasing kind of whoever they felt like. Aatrox was able to kite it out, though, with the superior mobility. I think they came out ahead in terms of the kills.
That was just painful. Grasping Roots lands, True Shot Barrage to the face, goodbye, another kill to Zyra. So yeah, Caitlyn's getting caught way too much in mid-spud.
Yeah, indeed. And because he's playing so aggressively all the time, Holy Phoenix is actually, when that Grasping Root then lands, he's then got an excellent angle to follow up on that Zyra route, because he can then just blast them with all the skill shots. Whereas normally, if a Zyra lands, you know, in a bot lane, it's quite difficult to get the correct angle without using Arcane Shift to, you know, hit with the full damage. And True Shot Barrage does a mental amount of damage if you hit on the full damage.
Yeah, exactly. If it doesn't have to travel through anybody and you get the full charge, it is just nasty. Especially when you consider that an early Sheen was picked up from Holy Phoenix. So that is just phenomenal damage coming out. In fact, how much? 350 plus 38 plus 23. It's well over 400 damage at level 6. And that is going to make up for nearly half of the hit points from LT. That's not taking into consideration Arcane Shift, Mystic Shot, the Grasping Roots, and the plant damage. That's kind of 100 to 0 actually if you get caught.
Yeah, this Wraith is taking quite a lot of damage, but it may have been an overcommitment. Holy Phoenix getting caught.
Oh, he's just so aggressive right now. We'll be Arcane Shifting through. The Piltover Peacemaker, I think, was like an anticipation of the Arcane Shift coming a few seconds earlier. True Shot Barrage comes through. He's going to be clearing out some of that CS. Is Caitlyn going to get caught again? No, not going to be the case this time around.
Yeah, but a very aggressive take of the Wraith, as you mentioned. But not sure that was really worth it. That's going to mean that Holy Phoenix has, you know, been forced to go back. Did get some items as a result, but not as many as you'd like normally, and has comparatively lost out on the XP and the gold, I suspect. That's a little bit unfortunate and will mean he's going to have a hard time continuing the pain train, but he's still a long way ahead on XP, and Aatrox is going in.
He is. Here comes Fab from the side as well. Does have the unstoppable force. They were certainly thinking about it for a couple seconds. Need to be so careful. Sona does not have Crescendo yet. You don't have the ace in the hole either, although both Dako and also LT are a couple CS away from hitting that elusive level 6, and then things will be able to be turned around. However, 4-player strong Dark Passage looking to push down the front door of Guru right now. Singe is coming in from the side, but the teleport is up from Naru, so if an engage kicks off, this can backfire horribly for Guru because they're definitely weaker right now. Holy Phoenix has been caught, however. Here comes the big damage, the over-deception, but instantly unstoppable force goes in, crushes 3 or 4 players, Strangle Thorns as well. Dako's going to be falling, and here comes the teleport in. Ari is very low right now. They're chasing down Singed, who's very tanky, but simply when you're in the middle of 5 players, it doesn't matter how tanky you are. True Shot Barrage comes through, very nearly claims the kill on Zimano Rex. But again, as I was saying, Spot, if it kicks off, there's only going to be one winner at this kind of stage of the game.
Yeah, and that's going to give Dark Passage a major advantage. They can now push this really hard with the Essence Flux from Ezreal. They should be able to take that mid tower, and actually you should probably be helping out your team there, Holy Phoenix. But really good decision making by Dark Passage, with Naru staying in the lane and not going in for that. Naru goes in!
Oh wow, that was aggressive. Dark Passage are just so hungry for kills. Cataclysm will be landing on the head right now of Thoth, but he will manage to pull himself away. Naru has just had that recall cancelled. Will be Rift walking through the wall. Crow Assassin from the side, flagging and dragging up Naru, but honestly, I don't feel there's a kill on the cards, because again, the Rift walk was such a slippery Kassadin. Almost impossible to lock down if Kassadin knows what he's doing. Yeah,
that is the case. Like I was saying, very good decision making being the reactive teleport out of Naru. And Jesper, on the other hand, kind of had to initiate for his team there if they wanted that fight. Now they've reset it to being that 1v1 lane in the top lane, and 2v2 continuing in this mid. But Holy Phoenix is going aggressive again.
He's just such a bully, and there's nothing that LT can do about this. He's 1v2ing completely by himself. Knightly Calibernet comes down. We'll be slowing him for a few seconds, but I feel like Bullseye is on the back of Dako, and he's going to be falling after the Arcane Shift and Mystic Shots both connect. So Phoenix is effectively just like, okay, I'm so far ahead of Caitlyn right now. I've got a Trinity Force at around 11 minutes. You cannot match me in any way, shape, or form. Caitlyn's going to go down from the Blades of Torment as Riosta goes on a rampage. This is just so one-sided.
It is looking very much so at this point. Like you say, just constant aggression from the whole of Dark Passage, and they are definitely singing the same tune on this front. I have to query a couple of the decisions that Holy Phoenix does make, but this kind of relentlessness, even if it does cost you a few mistakes sometimes, can work out in your favor just because the enemy becomes very scared of dealing with you.
Yeah, Strangled Thorns comes down, that's unstoppable force as well. Holy Phoenix could be falling, nope, the barrier is up, and that's going to force Jarvan to flash away. Here comes Jesper, by far the tankiest member on his team, has the catalyst of the Protector, and also the Doran Shield, but he's just going to be farming that mid-wave, and honestly, it's just such a strange mentality to see Holy Phoenix playing this aggressive. Jesper's been caught from the Grasping Roots and the Seismic Shard, his movement speed plummets down very, very low, but he's still hungry to be chasing in. He's popped off the Insanity Potion as well. Meanwhile, in mid, actually, Crow Assassin will be falling to the Massacre of Riosta, or actually, will he? Surely he's going to go down in a few seconds when Dark Flight's back up again, flagging and dragging his way across. Riosta is in hot pursuit, however. There's the Dark Flight. Here comes the Q as well. The Blade of Torment will be claiming that kill.
Yeah, not going to be able to continue the pursuit onto LT, but without any ultimate on Jesper, with LT being so weak at the moment, and with Kassadin in the area to put down Harass and possibly make this engage happen, they could easily get collapsed on by the guys in that upper jungle, but they're not going to, it seems. Then this seems like it should be a good timing opportunity.
Yeah, a couple of engages, just like skirmishes around the board there. The Hilt of a Peacemaker and Ace in the Hole coming in. Naru will be just blocking that one off for his support of Zyra. But it's almost a solo queue mentality that Holy Phoenix has here. I don't say that in a negative way. Grasping Roots will land on Jesper, Darkflight as well, but he's just far too tanky to full on initiate with. And at the bot lane, Rampage comes out, Holy Phoenix crushing Ahri. What I mean is just like, Holy Phoenix, he has zero cares to give. He's like, okay, I'm quite strong, I'm just going to run at your team until you kill me.
Yeah, you can be punished for that mentality. It makes it much easier to bait you, but at the moment he's doing such a good job of making clutch plays that it doesn't matter.
Yeah, he's such an aggressive AD carry, and I love watching this as an AD carry main myself. Ezreal, as I was saying before, in Champion Select, the Trinity Force is well back in favour for AD carry. So if you play Ezreal, if you play Corki, here's the AD to play. Jarvan's going to be falling to the aforementioned Holy Phoenix, who has just gone unstoppable. 8-2 at 14.5 minutes, why the hell not? Has just picked up a Triforce, already over 1,000 gold, soon to be more.
And remember, a large part of why the Trinity Force is so strong right now is that it is a very solid late game item, but it also spikes in power much earlier than conventional AD carry builds. If you compare a Trinity Force Ezreal to, say, an Infinity Edge Ezreal, there is almost no comparison. He has more damage in a burst and more damage in a sustained fight too. That means that if you get really fed, then it becomes even harder to deal with that snowball because you've got that early spike in power. If you remember like old blue build, for instance, that took ages to actually start really scaling up no matter how fed you got.
Exactly, and there are components to a Triforce. You can go back and pick yourself up the Phage, you're tanky. You get the movement speed increases from the Rage passive from Phage as well. Go back, pick up a Sheen. Holy Phoenix is now looking at Crow Assassin, who's been caught out from the Grasping Roots. Meanwhile, while all that's kicking off, Dragon did fall to the hands of Aatrox and Dark Passage, who are escalating at such a quick, rapid rate here. Ahead of gold, I should say. 27 to 20,000. Fabulous is being chased down, so much is being forced on him. Ace in the Hole comes through, that is going to be a kill. Now actually focusing on Zyra, who's forced to back away. So they focused a lot on Malphite, they do get their man, and maybe can look to push the mid.
This could cost them that top tower, however. You do have Singed in that area, and Kassadin did just go back, so he's going to be able to fight in this mid lane, maybe hold that. But Guru taking a little bit of an objective advantage in this kind of exchange, but it's still not going to make a major difference. The goal difference between the teams is big and will remain so until they can find a way to kill that Ezreal. And at the moment, they just don't seem to have an answer.
It's so big, and when you see, in fact, Hall of Thought, I mean, Naru's not doing a great deal of damage to Jesper, but it's more like chipping away at a hard rock. But you compare the AD carry's items, right? Bloodthirster Triforce at 16.5 minutes through, compared to a Pickaxe Longsword. Such a big difference. And Caitlyn's been so crushed in this early game, it's going to be rushing the Last Whisper first. It's because it's quite money kind of efficient in the sense you get quite a bit of AD, and on top of that armor penetration, which is going to be good against Aatrox, who's quite tanky, and also Malphite as well. But when you compare Last Whisper to Triforce and Bloodthirster, it's like a different planet. Here comes the Dark Flight, however, from Riosta, and the engage from Fab, and also Holy Thought. That's going to be dominating now for Holy Phoenix. He gets charmed underneath the tower. Here comes Singed from the backside as well. They could claim this kill finally. The tower shot comes in, shut down from Singed. This could be the beginning of something special. However, it's going to be a drop in the ocean, I have to feel, as Fabulous is flashing away. Charm will land again. Look at how tanky he is. Actually picks up the kill on the AD carry, and he's got the movement speed. Will not be getting away, however, this time around. Grasping Roots will land, and Z-Man is forced to flash away. Spirit Rush coming in, double kill. Can he convert it into a triple? Doesn't look likely, because you've got an angry demon chasing after you. Aatrox will claim that kill, and at the end of the day, that's going to be a 3-for-2 exchange, as Zyro will be taken out, and also the shutdown. So I spoke too soon. Actually, the ace comes in from Guru, but the damage has really been done through this mid.
Yeah, a lot of towers going down in that push. Didn't get the inhib though. Could either be a good or a bad thing for them, because although it would prevent, you know, put down a lot of map pressure, with that Singed teleport, it might be possible to kind of hold off that pressure and then get more farm on that Caitlyn because of the minions constantly pushing. But regardless, it's a fight that was purely won off of Holy Phoenix aggression. And there you can see the problem with being this aggressive. He went so ham for the kill on Sona. He flashed under the enemy tower to get that last Q, but then he had no answer to the charm from Ahri, which picked him up. As it happens though, drop in the ocean, as you say, they're going to return to this mid lane and start pushing again.
It's just a case that, fair enough, you got the ace, but it's before 20 minutes and you have a very vulnerable mid inhibitor. Yes, you got a few shutdowns, you're still well and truly behind on items as well. Caitlyn was thinking for a few seconds about maybe a Last Whisper, maybe going into Vampiric Scepter, got a couple kills and a shutdown, is going to be looking to pick up that Infinity Edge first. However, it's not looking likely that's going to be taken before 20 minutes. Again, you compare that to Ezreal's item build, it's so one-sided. Grasping Roots will land on Jesper. He's no longer as scary as before. He's actually going down fairly quickly. Aatrox is going to be trying to jump in. Here comes the Stranglethorns though, trying to displace the enemy team and disengage as quickly as possible. Crow Assassin's actually absorbing quite a bit of damage, but here comes the Grasping Roots again, the re-engage kicking off, because now they have Naru. Now they have that scary Kassadin, unstoppable force of Crow Assassin and Jesper. The crescendo comes in, just locking up one player. How much damage can Holy Phoenix do from the side? Failing the arcane shift there, will be punished with his life, manages to take down Singed. So for all we've been saying about how far ahead Dark Passage are, if they position poorly and they don't make use of this advantage, they can still lose. That was a 1-for-3 trade.
No, it wasn't. Naru just came in from behind, but a really, really good fight from Guru there. Setting up multiple AoEs to hit multiple people, and these are AoEs that you can't reliably do that. For instance, Orb of Deception hitting, I think, 2 or 3 people, but this could get ugly. Fabulous is continuing to chase LT.
He is, and that's pretty much the danger of Kassadin. Just when you think the team fight's over, oh hey, how's it going? He's just jumped back in onto LT, will be falling, and now it's looking really precarious for Crow Assassin and Ahri, who just stands there laughing and taunting. They will actually clean up there, and they're going to be down for 20 to 30 seconds, so you can already see the Dark Passage potentially opting for this Baron.
Seems like a little bit of a risky play that they don't need to make, but they will do it anyway, and they should get away with it. Singed could run into the middle and wreak havoc if he realizes, though. With that magic damage debuff, with the Insanity Potion, with the fact Singed is actually not doing badly at all, that could get scary fast. Doesn't seem like it's going to happen, though. Naru will be able to get out of there if necessary. And Holy Phoenix will just go farm up that top lane while his team struggles to the death with Baron. Shouldn't be a problem though, they have got it. And that, I think, may spell real trouble for Guru.
Oh, definitely. It's not just a case that they're 9,000 gold behind anymore. You've also got Baron, which at this stage of the game is huge. The amount of effective gold that you have while Baron is up, and all the additional statistics and stats, I should say, and all the additional damages and health regen is just massive, especially at 20 minutes through. So it's probably going to be a case that they're going to hide around this top area, maybe try and engage. However, they're pretty split up right now, Spud. So if ever there was a time for Guru to engage, it's right here, right now. Grasping Roots comes through. Nice flash as well. Strangle Thorns, they're doing everything they can to keep away these aggressors, but Singed is far too fast with the Ghost, and that's going to be a kill from Jesper. So they take the Baron and then kind of throw away a bit of that advantage. They're probably not going to do a great deal with it.
Well, they did get that dragon. Aatrox can return to the bot lane. And the thing is, Naru is so good in this environment. By kind of just trying to jump around what's going on, along with that Ezreal, they actually have the damage to assassinate people. Even Jesper, if he gets caught too far out, that means they're not going to be able to recall. That means Aatrox could be left to 1v1 that Caitlyn. But I had not noticed he was so low on health, so maybe it's not going to be an issue.
This tower is very low on health, but here comes back from the side, and he's just absolutely decimated Caitlyn by himself. 100 to 0 in a heartbeat. That is ridiculous. And I don't want to slate anybody, but Caitlyn really is not having much of an impact in this game, Spud. You're talking about sub 100 CS at 23 minutes through the game. That's not something you see every day.
No, that is not helpful at all. And well, what can you do about it in their situation? Once you're that far behind, it becomes very dangerous to try and get any farm. And that just snowballs. It's one of the snowballing mechanics in this game. It does mean that Naru now throwing out that silence, throwing out the slow. Just going to continue to harass. And the reason Malphite, by the way, was able to nuke so hard, he's got that Haunting Guise and the Sork Shoes.
Oh, and he has just been engaged on, but he's so tanky. However, Naru is not and will be falling. Here comes the Spirit Rush, chase from Zimano Rex. Meanwhile, though, at top lane, Ezreal is just going to be pushing down these CS and hopefully towers from the perspective of Dark Passage. Has just been slowed down. In fact, no, actually, Singed missed that one off, but here comes the cavalry. Grasping Roots on the side. True Shot barrage through as well. Jasper's going very, very low, but here comes a re-engage. Ace in the hole comes out, not blocked off from Holy Thoth, but do they have enough damage? Do they dare go in? It's very risky, and in fact Jesper's like, nope, I don't want to do this. Jarvan from the side, however, there's like two separate fights going off at once. I'm going to keep it at the top lane here because Holy Phoenix is so low. Arcane shifting through, will be picking up that kill. Caitlyn now has to run away, but Aatrox coming around from the side. How much damage will Riosta do? Misses the Blade of Torment, goes back in with the Dark Flight. Needs to be very careful. He does have the Bloodwell, and that's going to buy enough time for Holy Phoenix to take down Caitlyn.
The damage out of Holy Phoenix in a burst is super scary, and Bloodwell gets popped for no real reason there. It's a little bit unfortunate they're going to fight this.
They are going to be fighting Unstoppable Force, however, it's just going to crush right through. And now Jesper is forced to run away. He's being constantly slowed, knocked in the air from the Dark Flight as well. And that is going to be the ace. So one inhib already down, sure to be two. In fact, they may very well try and push for the win. That being said, though, both Zimano and Crow Assassin have respawned. So not too sure if they're going to stay and fight or just back off and buy up.
We will see, but at the moment I think we can assume that Dark Passage are feeling pretty confident in themselves right now. In terms of what decisions they're making, they are actually making a few mistakes, but it's just not mattering because of the goal difference. You know, they can engage in a very uneven fight and still come out ahead just on their goal difference. I mean, you saw how fast Ezreal 100-0'd someone there.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. There's not too much. Like, at points like this, as a caster, you really want to hype up the game and you want to talk about the possibilities of maybe Guro bouncing back, but it's just not likely, Spud. They had a moment, they had a glimpse of brilliance there when they won the couple team fights, but Baron came after that. They've lost 2 inhibitors. It's probably going to be 3 in the next few moments once Dark Passage compose themselves and reposition and push as a 5-man unit, because Singed is just that top farming. Once that 3rd inhib goes down, that's pretty much spelling the GG.
Yeah, they overstayed basically after that second team fight that they won, Guru. And then they had, I think, 3 members getting kind of forced to stay in, getting picked off one by one by the Kassadin and the Malphite Aatrox combo when Aatrox respawned. And that just cost them that advantage, that cost them the Baron, and that started off the real snowball. And just look at the gold difference, look at the item difference. Caitlyn to Ezreal, just look.
It hurts me. It hurts me in the feels, Bud. As an AD, 26.5 minutes through, just an IE is kind of sad times, and look at that damage again. Caitlyn gets deleted from the map. Stranglethorn's through. It's going to be knocking 3 players in the air. In fact, all 4 players that were remaining were knocked in the air, and it's just a case of who is going to pick up these kills. There is no denying, no doubting it's going to be an ace 1 for 5 trade with just the support going down. That's the GG well played, and this first game in the best of 3 going to Dark Passage.
Yeah, nicely played by them. They took a very early advantage and were just able to kind of... I guess there was that moment where Guru did look good, but Dark Passage, I have to say, looking like the dominant team from beginning to end, and that's kind of what we expected out of them. They are a very solid team. Regardless, though, we will see what can be done in the future. Guru will be in the next lobby, and hopefully we should be able to get the next game going very, very soon. Hopefully a little sooner than we were yesterday. But regardless, guys, we're going to go into a quick break while we wait, so see you in a second.